And that's when I realised that Compton Avenue in Hove is not what NWA were talking about. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
What's up, everyone? And welcome back to another Rapscallion Fest. That's what we do. We're scallywags.
I've always wanted to be a scallywag.
Have you? I'm not really sure what it is.
I feel like we fit the description, though.
This is what we do. Mischief, skullduggery, lollygagging. I'd like to see you take a long walk off a short pier. Sort of business. That's what we get up to. We're rogues. We're lovable rogues.
Are we mercenaries?
We're mercenaries.
I'd like to be one, too.
We're troubadours.
That's a fucking great word.
We're bon vivants. You know.
Are you just reading everything from your Instagram bio?
We're raconteurs, baby. We're storytellers. Are we? Yeah, sort of.
We tell some stories.
Yeah, like that time I did a shit and it smelled like manure, but that's not really relevant. Anyway, today we have on for you a standard issue episode of Radio Rufus with a special guest, of course. The standard issue part of it is me, Rufus Rice. I'm always here. It'd be weird if I wasn't on it.
It would be,
Would it be more weird if... It would be more weird if I wasn't on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It is my name in the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm here. And so is my producer, Aidan. Say hello to the people, Aidan.
Hello.
And as always, we bring you your favourite taste of kind of stale news that we found in the Guardian in 2021 and are dragging up now, as well as our special guest, who for this week, it's freestyle gangster rapper, West London Wolfpack alumna, shout out the Whitting Massive, and a man with a Jewish name. Is one of the most terrifying rappers in history, the greatest white rapper in my books since Lil Xan. It's MC Hammersmith. Welcome to the studio.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks
Brilliant
for having me, boys. What an intro.
You happy with that?
Yeah, do I have a Jewish name? That's the first time anyone's... I mean, people say I look Jewish, but I'm half English, half Syrian, so that's the sort of...
Yeah, but it sort of
quandary.
It sort of averages out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What a part of his name is Jewish?
I don't know.
It's a bold claim. You've immediately backtracked on.
Here's
Jewish at all, actually.
Here's the problem: is I don't know what your name is.
Right.
That's one of the main.
That does throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, usually.
What is your name?
My real name's Will. My second name's Name, N-A-A-M-E-H, but I go by MC Hammersmith for the avoidance of doubt.
Okay,
Yeah,
this is where I got hung up. Is I knew an Israeli girl at school who was called Name. And,
Really?
But I forgot to write that down.
Right, well,
And I forgot about it when you said.
that adds up.
Right. So
At least
that's
there's
what I
some
thought.
justification.
Yeah.
And also, like, I thought I just assumed you were Jewish. I feel like a lot of people. It's like when people assume Aidan is an Albanian lesbian.
Yeah, this is what I
does happen quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people think I'm Jewish. I get lots of Jewish people coming up to me at gigs going, "You're also Jewish, right?" I'm like, "I'm very sorry to disappoint. No, I look Jewish or Italian, but half Syrian, half English. That's the sort of racial melange going on here."
What half of you is English?
Left half.
Yeah, the front.
Yeah. Mum's English, dad's from Damascus. It's that classic combo.
The old Damascus dad.
Yeah. Syrian rapper, got those Allahu Akbars. That's what I say.
Right.
Good you Ed's still laughing at that. That's one joke. If we're counting, that's the first joke of the show.
Yeah.
He does that for moral sport.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's paid just to laugh at
That
that.
is a sort of geographical average, though.
Yeah, I would say so.
You look like you're from somewhere in the middle of both of those places. So
Yeah,
there
I
we
would
go.
say so. It's odd because I can't do spicy food, and I can count to 10 and say "I love you, Grandma" in Arabic, but that's
Right.
the only sort of the only sort of tribute I can pay to my heritage is being bad at both.
Well, you know your way around a pack of hummus, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They know me in the hummus aisle in Marks and Spencer. They know me. They know me.
That's the sort of territory war we'd be happening, because I'm there a lot as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've never bumped into each other.
No, I think it's a different M&S, but I don't know.
I mean, I live in Edinburgh, so unless you're venturing up north. Yeah.
Come a long way to do this.
Well, I am here for other stuff. I need to be expressly clear.
Yeah.
I want to be expressly clear. I'm doing Top Secret this evening, and
Have you told anyone yet?
say again.
Have you told anyone yet?
Joke.
This is
Nice.
excellent.
Yeah.
It's a comedy club. But
Brilliant
That
stuff.
name does mean two things. So excellent work.
Yeah.
Aidan saw me in Edinburgh.
I did indeed. Monkey Bar last
You were in
month.
that strip club.
Oh, no. I accidentally booked an Airbnb in between the 3 strip clubs in Edinburgh,
Pubic Triangle.
which I now know is called the Pubic Triangle.
Yes, a triangle of streets with a strip club on each point.
I didn't
Yes.
I didn't know you were a stripper.
Well, this is the thing. I contain multitudes. I can do anything.
Yeah.
So, obviously, first question you've got to ask any rapper, what ends do you reside in, my G? You've already answered it, unfortunately.
What ends do I reside in?
Yeah.
My G, God. I'm normally the most Caucasian man in the room, so this is excellent stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in Edinburgh, been there for 15 years. I did grow up in Hammersmith in West London.
So you are an original member of the West London Wolfpack.
Yeah, the West London Wolfpack. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah. No, been there for 15 years now. I found the people in West London to be quite sort of posh, up themselves, red trousers.
Really?
Yes. So escaped all that. I moved to Edinburgh. World of difference.
I would never have thought that.
Never.
No.
Been there 15 years using the silver spoon I was born with to heat my heroin. It's an excellent place.
That's a great joke.
Thank you. Number 2. That's number 2 of the show.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Edinburgh when you visited?
I did very much, yeah.
Do any heroin?
No, I didn't get that side of the culture, but maybe next time.
Good. This is something for the next Airbnb visit.
I would definitely do heroin once.
Maybe on my deathbed.
Yeah, it'd be like, it's like a bucket list thing, but sort of, I don't want to do loads of it, but I feel like it's quite Moorish. I don't know.
Just a bump.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like, I would like to do it once.
But I feel like that's the
I
issue.
feel like everyone's lying if they don't. People say that the worst feeling you can get from heroin is like having 10 shots of tequila and lying in a hot tub.
Sure.
That is a quote from somewhere. So it's got to be great.
Sure.
People do. It's a lifestyle.
Oh, I don't think there's any sort of controversial point to say that heroin feels good. I think,
Yeah, so wouldn't you like?
it's just about portion control.
Yeah.
I
right.
struggle with that.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to feel that just the once, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I would try anything once in moderation. I'd take a bump of heroin. I've never done magic mushrooms, and that is supposed to be safe than alcohol. And I would love to see fractaling shapes before my eyes.
I've
to
had
see what that would
normal
do.
mushrooms, but not magic.
Yeah, I've had portobello.
Yeah.
I've had
Nuts.
fungi.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had normal. He's only had magic. So
I'd like to try both at some stage.
yeah, brilliant.
What
That's an option.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's going on here? How did you two meet? Because I just came in off the street and sat down.
Yeah.
Because my schedule's quite tight today. And I DM'd you, well, you DM'd me on Instagram after the show. We've been organising this. But how did you two meet? What's going on?
Okay, so they had a funding round. They had venture capital.
Right.
You look like a man who knows what that is, because
Don't want to brag?
often I say that and people are like, well, what's that? But you clearly know your way around this sort of business.
Thank you.
They had a funding round. They wanted to expand, get more shows on. I'd been on a few shows before, and they said, we think you're the perfect guy. You should have a show. So I was like, yes, build me this. Let's have a show. Aidan worked here. He was a producer on
Right,
some
I
other
see.
stuff at that time. And then he got assigned to work on this show. I was like, well, I need an on-screen producer.
That's fascinating.
And then originally he was just going to jut in every now and again, and I was just going to do the show. But then we just started chatting.
I see. And are you...
But we met once before we started.
You met once before you
Yeah.
started?
Before the first episode.
We shared a wing roulette in Nando's.
Yeah, we had a romantic Nando's.
Yeah.
That's delightful, boys. It's
Yeah.
lovely. And
We Lady and the Tramped a bit of long stem.
And we were both too white to go anywhere near the spicy wings in the roulette.
oh yeah, I'm a lemon and lime man myself.
Yeah.
That's not even an option. That's how white you are.
Again,
they
look
don't
Italian, look Jewish, just white.
Lemon
just
and
white.
lime.
I think we've already established that this might be the most white podcast ever happen in history.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, three white guys doing a podcast is not reinventing the wheel, but we are really cranking up the Caucasianness.
Okay. On the whiteness front, here's an interesting question. So I used to live in Indonesia.
Right.
And most people there are not white, believe it or not. We actually were in the minority there. But there was one kid, local kid, so fully Indonesian, but he was an albino. Now, is he whiter or less white than me?
Yeah, it's a lot to break down there.
He's Schrodinger's Indonesian.
Yeah, because
He's white and not white at the same time.
yeah, there's a difference between
difficult.
Caucasianness
like
and
a-
albinoism, isn't
He's
there?
like a
Yeah.
zebra, but he doesn't even have any stripes, so you can't even really work it out.
Yeah, it's tough to sort of try and identify his level of privilege when he has the albinoism. I wouldn't be informed enough to make a racial judgment there.
Do you want to come down on one side?
No.
Aidan, you will make a
It's
judgment.
a bit like the argument we had a few weeks ago about the tallest midget
Yeah.
or the shortest regular sized man.
Is it?
I think so.
Well,
It's a strong parallel to make.
am I
It's like him saying, "You've got a Jewish name."
Is this guy whiter than me or not? Just tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, that was easy.
Right. Let's move on. So when did you realise that you were a driller?
That was a driller.
Yeah, like when did rapping become a part of your life?
I always loved hip hop and rap music when I was a teenager and listened to a lot of Akala, listened to a lot of Eminem. But when I was at uni, really got into sort of golden age rappers like Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. And at the time, I was doing the most hip-hop of hobbies. I was doing musical improvised comedy when I was 21 with a bunch of men in their 40s in Edinburgh. And
That sounds cool.
yeah.
That sounds dodgy.
Mate, honestly, if it's that, the only two things I know about Scotland are that comedy group and train spotting. Honestly, give me the heroin. rather.
Hit you up. And see, I was doing musical improv. So we were doing improvised Broadway musicals with sort of 7 of us in the group or something like that. And then when it came to the bridge between the final 2 choruses, I would always want to do the rap break, like Flow Rider, but I was never any good. And at the time, I had seen videos of people like MC Supernatural, MC Juice, sort of the grandfathers of freestyle.
MC Jews.
MC Juice.
Juice.
That is the most important S. In,
I misheard you.
Juice. And yeah, I just saw them freestyling, and I went, they're basically doing improv, but significantly cooler. Like, significantly cooler.
Right.
And better. And so practiced with them for sort of one session. I went, I love this. And I was really getting into hip-hop in a big way. And I went, do you guys want to do more of it? And they went, absolutely not. So I practiced by myself for 2 years and then did it on the comedy circuit. And now we're here.
Yeah.
And I started releasing videos, I think 5 years after I'd started freestyling in comedy clubs. So probably started 2015, 2016. And then the old Panny D hit. And I went, well, I've got a lot of spare time. So I'll put some scripted hip-hop content out and some freestyle stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And then, of course, I mean, where most people will have seen you before, and you featured in that Beta Squad video.
Yes.
Legendary, where you rapped for Dave and the other chaps.
You were definitely most Caucasian in that room.
I mean, yeah, it's a different bar.
Not really close.
Yeah.
Does that overshadow your every waking hour, like a lot of people who have been on that channel?
I mean, it definitely changed my life overnight, for sure.
Oh, really?
So I went from having, I would say, a decent, modest following to just people recognize me on the street all the time. But the demographic of people who'd recognize me were, say it with me, 17-year-old boys, because that is who watches that channel.
I wasn't ready. You said say it with me, but I wasn't at all ready. I wasn't prepped.
Sorry, say it with me. 1, 2, 3. MC Juice. Sorry, got the wrong one. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
And so these are the demographic I try and ban from my gigs, because my show is 18 plus. Yeah. And I think if 17, 16-year-olds creep in, it's like, it's not the worst thing. There's nothing on TikTok I'm doing that's worse than the live show.
Are you taking your clothes off? Why is it 18 plus?
It is quite graphic and sexual, you know. I am fully clothed, but like, the thing is, if you say it's a 16 plus show, people, and I mean parents, will undercut that and bring their kids.
Yeah.
So the Edinburgh Fringe, after the Beta Squad video came out, I said 16 plus guideline. And so I stepped out every day. I went, what's up, motherfuckers? Hello, 9-year-old girl in the front row who's here with her older brother and their parents. This is an absolute nightmare. So now it's 18 plus, like, restriction.
I think you got to blame the parents.
Yeah, I do.
Like, I don't think that one's on you.
Yeah. So, I had a great time doing that video. They're all lovely boys. But, it has, unfortunately, made me quite popular in a demographic I'm actively trying to stop coming to my live shows, which is a bit of an unusual quandary.
Do you think you're a better rapper than David?
Than David. And Santan David. His full name.
Yeah.
His full name.
His government name. It's Santander David.
Yeah.
I believe.
I'm a comedian who freestyle raps. I do not think I could ever claim to be better at rap than anyone who does it sincerely, but I do like to hope that I have punchlines. That's the only sort of aim I go for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I made a top 5 rappers of all time TikTok the other day, and I put myself in the top 5, and a lot of people said
humble.
I said I was wrong for that, but I only put myself number 2, so like,
oh, that's fine.
I think it's okay.
And who are the others?
Well, I don't really want to spoil the list I'm going to go through later.
Okay.
But
attention.
But Nick Crompton was up there. You remember this guy?
The name rings a bell. Who's Nick Crompton?
He was a member of. They're like the Wu-Tang Clan. If they all had sort of ADHD and were from Ohio.
Okay, right. How have I missed Crompton?
Team 10 is what I'm talking about.
Okay, right. Yes, I have heard the name.
He almost fought Bazinga from the side, man.
He almost fought Bazinga.
Right, yes. Before I did that Beta Squad video, I had no idea who they were or who the sidemen were.
That's fair
and now these things I have since researched, and I feel like I've read this.
I think everyone who's about our age, they're like the main part of our childhood was watching those old videos.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 33 and listen to Classic FM, so got the call to do that video the day before and didn't even have time to Google them. And they cut this bit out of the video and they went, would you go down the line and rap battle every single one of us? And I went, in the most polite possible way, I don't know who any of you are. It'd be like boxing fog. What am I supposed to do? But they didn't feel the need to keep that in the edit. It's understandable.
Well, speaking of a rap battle, I think it's about time we have one of our own.
Now we're bloody talking.
It's not really going to be 8 Mile. I don't want to get everyone's expectations up. I can't freestyle. I cheat by doing 100 takes of every single rap I make.
Yeah.
That's what TikTok is for.
Yeah. It looks casual, but you've spent 5 hours sort of framing it, doing the
Spent so
subtitles.
long.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
So we're going to do a rap each, and maybe we'll get the audience to decide wwho wins the rap battle.
That was amazing.
We've got the atmosphere on, so that's good.
I'm gonna say it's very disco 70s, isn't it? The roots of hip hop.
Who's going to go first, Aidan?
Who wants to go first?
After you, please.
I'll go first. Yep, of course. This rap is called Hansel and Gretel.
God. It's so hip hop. I love it already.
Yeah, which is my favourite piece of street trivia.
Let me know when you want to drop the beat.
Let's get into it. Okay, turn it up a bit. They never say turn it down. It's only ever too quiet. This is Hansel and Gretel.
Good luck.
I'm bringing white man rap back. In a whip with my dog like Shaggy. She stripped for the squad, yeah, Velma. Throwing it back in a thong on her belly. My dog bite if ting gets scrappy. Doing up Redhead, doing up Daphne. You think I was Bonnie in knots. The way these yatties are queuing a yak me. Doing a madness, yeah, exactly. If ting gets settled, it's cause I got hands on the metal. I'm first on the track like Mansell and Vettel. I follow that bread like Hansel and Gretel. Can't cancel a rebel. Can you handle the level? I just pulled 3 6s in prison and now they all wanna dance with the devil. She didn't expect it, the way that I tap it and step. Called out the Irish exit, don't like it but she gotta respect it. Smashed my link in Prague, then left the EU like I voted for Brexit. Ops tried to cross up a man, long for them that I resurrected. Cause I'm the Jesus of TikTok, scranning fish in the chip shop. Me and 12 mates in our flip-flops, wear a bed sheet and a wristwatch. Tan and beard like Rick Fox, eating bread, I'm breaking bits off. Stony on in Bethlehem, if it kicks off. There we go.
That is unreal.
That was surprisingly good.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Very pleasantly surprised.
I worked hard on that.
Yeah. That was great.
See,
Flip-flop, chip shop. That was great. TikTok.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Follow the bread like Hansel and Gretel. That's legitimately very good.
That's good, Buzz. Thank you. I will take that.
Very good.
Awesome stuff. So there we go. White Man Rap is officially back.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And
I speak for everyone when I say thank God.
It should have never left, in my opinion. And to bolster that even more, it's time for your go, MC.
Well, let's bloody do this. Right. Yo, this is a completely sincere gangster rap. My name is MC Hammersmith. Shout out hummus. Word to your parent or guardian. It's MC Hammersmith on the track spitting. Flow that's as stable as his upbringing. Yeah, every other rapper's about to take a hike. Cause Kanye West London is back on the mic. Said I'm born to impress. Less Eminem and more M&S. Yeah, I'm indisputably groovy. I'm so sick, Booper refused to insure me. Rappers got gall. Step into me on the track, you'll be destined to fall. I am so cold when I rock mics. I could rap in Braille and give the blind frostbite. Yeah, that's what I speak. Killing MCs every day of the week. I need you to know I'm a spiffing rhyme. Unspeakable flow, like a pissing mime. Said my phrasing is epic. Rhyme so fat they be taking a Zempic. My brain got the spiciest rhymes to deploy. My noodle is hot, call me Bombay bad boy. Yeah, my mansion's crazy. Got a big crib cause I'm massive, baby. Yeah, ladies love my giant house. I attract the pussy like a mouse. Yeah. See me grinning, my raps are adored by all of the women. Ladies so moist at my shows when I rhyme, I have to provide them with wet floor signs. Yeah, I do not jest. Intercourse from me, the ladies request. I can phone sex your girl, no hassle. She gushes when I ring her like a flannel. Your girl says my sex fly. Baguette length cock, so she calls me French guy. Titty so big, she took out my left eye. Got her so wet, she contracted trench thigh. Said I'm a surprise. Look, the point is, let me summarize. Ladies get wet cause my stuff is obscene. I'm not a muff diver, I'm a muff submarine. Said I'm so quick, when I be off at the tip of the rhythm, I'm just too sick. Cause you are not me, I'm the bona fide, bona wide, funky MC. Yeah, said that I'm the hottest son, and also, I've definitely got a gun. With this heavy lead, you'll be very dead. Shells from the toast, like eggy bread. Aim from my pistol is so immutable. I excel with the 40, like Roman numerals. Got more cans than a crate of Fanta. Put that stick in your mouth, and you ain't a panda. And to everybody watching on the video saying, why is he reading off his phone? Is he dumb? I'm not reading lyrics, no, I've memorized the words. I am just looking at a picture of your mum. That is the vibe. Basically, I'm the greatest rapper alive. Said my material's clever. You'll get rinsed with one bar. Imperial leather. Hoofing it hard like a horseshoer.
So good.
Your flow is just shit like a raw sewer. The bars that I rap are for sure super. Cause I spit massive. Hawk tour.
Nice. Brilliant.
Thank you very
Brilliant
much.
stuff.
That is unbelievable.
Thank you very much.
Was particular highlight for me, Trench Submarine.
Thank you very much.
Trench day.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Just, a little gift for you boys.
Brilliant stuff.
That was unbelievable.
I think white man rap has never been in such a great place.
Oh, again,
Yeah.
I speak for the people. Thank God.
The cultural zeitgeist is incredible.
Yeah.
We're sort of undoing the legacy of some of the greats.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Well, okay.
Okay, well, we've got an important question now. We're
course.
going to move on to our news segment of our show.
Yes.
MC, if you required an extremely specialist and a highly complicated medical procedure that had never been successfully performed in surgical history, which country would you trust with it?
Great Britain.
Really?
Great Britain.
Well, a 17-year-old boy in India recently underwent a groundbreaking surgery to remove a 33-pound parasitic twin. A parasitic twin is a bit like a conjoined twin, except the other twin isn't even a whole person.
Right.
It's just like bits and bobs.
That's the medical term, bits and bobs. It's just paraphernalia.
That's what's in the... Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just, it's crudités. It's not a whole meal.
I see.
It is celery. So doctors at the All India Institute of Medical Science in Delhi successfully removed the legs, arse, and genitalia of a conjoined twin who never fully developed in the womb out of a boy's chest.
Fascinating.
So they got his arse, another guy's arse, out, which was grown out of his own chest.
Of all the parts to be stuck with.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing.
He basically had a central bum, like right in the poking out of his chest with a couple of legs sticking out.
You know what?
The picture is insane. Do you want to see this?
Of course, I would love to. Love this. Is great for a podcast format.
I mean, look at that.
Goodness gracious.
That is incredible. It looks like bad Photoshop,
It
Yeah,
does,
yeah.
doesn't it?
but I promise you that's real.
Fair play to the guy. Fair play.
It looks like whenever you try and evolve your Pokemon, but it goes really badly wrong.
Got stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say you've got a third leg. They mean it in a completely different way. That's extraordinary.
Well, we have
Extraordinary.
we have
Good for him.
we have a theory on this show that the more legs you have, the faster you are. So a normal person has 2 legs.
Right.
Usain Bolt has 3 legs,
I see.
and that's why he's
explains
faster.
it.
I see.
And a cheetah has 4 legs, which is why they're even faster.
I see. So your sort of theory is if he's
This guy's
bent down.
This guy's got 4 legs.
Right. Yeah.
This guy would be pacey.
He must be the fastest man in the world. It's the only logic.
That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, they're not. It actually looks like the legs that are growing out of his chest are pointed the other direction.
I was going to say it. Yeah.
Which
doesn't
legs
look
does he
a
lead
comfortable
with?
sprint.
Maybe he doesn't go anywhere.
Which leg does he lead with, though? If he is going to try and sprint?
Or do you think he's going backwards?
I think he might use the chest legs.
I'm not a scientist.
None of us are scientists. Let's be honest. None of us are experts.
You look like a scientist.
Say again.
You look like a scientist.
I do look like a scientist. I have no transferable skills. is the thing.
Yeah.
Hence my analysis of this chap.
So you look like a scientist. You look like you get discounts on haircuts.
Yeah.
What do I look like?
Tory.
Yeah.
You look like the son of a disgraced politician.
Yeah, who's wearing his clothes. Yeah, right. Okay, brilliant.
I am on the way here. I've seen a few of your videos, and then I
Yeah.
googled on the way here. I googled, is Rufus Rice a Tory?
Oh, really?
It said the first result that came up was you're a registered member of the Labour Party.
I am, yeah.
You're card carrying.
Does
I
that come
got
up on Google?
Yeah, it's the first. There was a Reddit discussion with someone saying, I literally half an hour ago just went, just going to check.
I am. I pay £2.36 a month to the Labour
Fair enough.
Party.
Well, that's the lesser of two evils for me. I'm a Green voter because I like being disappointed.
Yeah. I think
I just love saving the planet. I'm woke as fuck.
I think the Greens and Reform should team up.
Go on.
And they should plant a tree wall around the country.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
On the coast, on the top of all the cliffs, they just plant enormous oak trees.
Yeah, stop the boats sustainably.
Yeah, exactly. Stop the boats and the carbon.
Yeah, what's
I
not
think
to
that's
love?
a great policy. You guys should team up. Let me know. So, how long do you think it took to get the arse and the legs out of that boy's?
Oh, sorry, we're still on the leg boy. Yes.
Yeah.
How long did the operation take? That can't.
It looks difficult.
You can't do that in a 30-minute GP appointment. That's intricate. I'm going to say it took them the best part of 12 hours. I'm going to say
2 hours.
2 hours. 2.
Which is sort of suspiciously short.
Yeah.
Did they just sort of take a chainsaw to it?
Oh, so where is the asshole?
I think the heel of the leg is in front of the anus.
Right. That's the sort of second bum, as you say.
Yeah.
I don't think it was functional, but I don't know.
Again, none of us are experts.
You would hope not.
Yeah. Although, obviously,
That's fascinating.
We've had this discussion before about whether you'd rather have 2 cocks or 4 balls. This guy's sort of got everything again.
Most men have bother enough getting action for 1 cock, never mind 2.
Are you a team 4 balls?
I think it might take 4 balls.
That might be a rift in our relationship because I am a big team 2 dicks hardliner.
Are they connected? Are they extended on top of your current cock?
I think you can choose.
Side by
You can
side?
choose the formation.
Oh, sorry. This is what you would prefer, not the actual sort of construct of your own genitalia. Sorry, you lost me for a second. Which would I rather have?
No, you got to pick one. You can't abstain.
Oh.
You can't just be Switzerland here and go. We don't see the.
I thought you meant you can't just be Switzerland and kill yourself.
No.
It's not always the third option.
I didn't realise this about Dignitas, but it's just one room.
The entire operation is one room.
Yeah. Obviously, not that many people do that.
I suppose.
So you don't need a huge setup.
I suppose.
But everyone dies in the same bed, just one after the other. It's
shit.
It's like the GP. You just go in there and come out.
Huh.
It is a 30-minute GP appointment.
Yeah, that's not
much shorter. I would have thought.
I guess it is easier to kill someone than it is to to do
To not kill this boy.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. So everyone who goes to Dignitas dies in the same bed, which is a bit morbid.
In the same bed.
Yeah, because they only,
It's really cheap. Surely they could rent another room.
mate, they must be making huge amounts of that.
They'd double their numbers, though, if they had more space to do it. They can only do
No,
one
but
at a
there's
time.
only so much demand. Like,
Yeah.
lots of people do it the cheap way. Lots of people don't have money for a flight to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim.
So
I'm all in favour of it. I'm all in favour of assisted dying. I think
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried. This relatively serious topic for our podcast.
Yeah.
The slippery slope. I don't know. Like, at what point are we just starting killing people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you get one Harold Shipman,
Sure.
and it ruins the whole idea.
Yeah.
Because imagine if Harold Shipman operated where you could legally kill people.
Yeah, I suppose.
True.
He managed to do like 600 oldies with no oversight and no problems. If he could do that, there might be another genocide on our hands.
Is it only in situations where the person is usually not in great health anyway?
But the problem is, then they're all kooky and they're not really making sense.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what I was
so
about
how
to
can they
say.
sign off on their own death?
Yeah, you really need some ASCs, anti-shipment checks, as I call them, to
Right.
to stop the murderous. But again, one thing we can all agree on is none of us are experts.
No, that's true.
Very much the theme of this podcast. It's good stuff.
So,
Apart from White Rop.
Oh,
yeah, we are experts on
I
rap.
think we've clearly demonstrated our mastery.
So how this happens, this phenomenon. So when you have identical twins, the embryo splits in half.
I see.
When they conjoined, it sort of fuses back together a bit. Parasitic twins, one of them then dies.
Right.
And the sort of what's remaining of it is kept alive by the other one who develops normally.
Fascinating.
Only 40 cases of this have been documented in medical history.
Yeah.
So they don't really know what they're doing. And that's why this is the first surgery. And that's why I thought this kid, I would have put my life savings on him dying. Honestly.
Yeah. That's a risky business.
Especially so close to your chest. Like, that's...
Well, they share, the twin and the boy shared the same heart.
Fuck.
So they had to chop off the arteries and stuff.
Could the legs move? Or were they just...
Now we're asking the real question.
Yeah. Because that'd be pretty fucking freaky seeing that through someone's shirt.
It'd be helpful for sort of holding the shopping, I guess, with an extra 2 feet coming out the stomach.
Just hang it on the leg.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's why I'd have 2 extra balls, just to hang the shopping on. That's why I was thinking this entire time. I think
Absolute
2 extra
balls of steel.
Yeah,
to
why
hang,
not?
Hang the shopping.
Yeah, but if you think about it logistically, a cock is going to be better for hanging shopping
That's
on.
a really good point.
That's a
than
very,
balls.
very good point. And this is the most 3 Straight White Boy podcast topic we have.
Yeah.
We have stuck the landing, boys. I'm proud of us.
Anyway, let's move on to our next story now. Will, no offense, but you do look like a vegan.
Thank you.
And as a vegan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this animal rights story in Denmark. So, Chilean artist Marco something, apparently as a way of raising awareness of animal suffering in the meat production industry, he planned an exhibit to basically raise awareness to this, terrible tragedy. And his plan for the exhibit was, I'm going to protest this by starving 3 pigs to death.
Right.
So, as a protest about people starving pigs to death, I'm going to starve these pigs and put it in an art gallery.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's the thought process.
It does seem counterintuitive. As a protest against arson, I'm going to set fire to my own house.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not the way I'd go about it.
Yeah. But what happened was, before he could starve the pigs, the animals were nicked by activists, including his own best friend.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So, it wouldn't have been a great story if they just died. And
Yeah.
put the
Everything's
No,
sad. Just tragic.
And what's funny is, then, having planned to starve these pigs to death, he called up the police and was like, someone's nicked my pigs.
Yeah.
Give me my pigs back. And he shut down the entire exhibition. And then this great quote, I was very disappointed when my friend, the animal rights activist Casper Stephenson, told me that he was involved in the theft. Absolute betrayal. Backstabbery.
I know. I can't believe your best friend would steal one thing.
Nicked your own pigs.
Nicked your 3 pigs.
Yeah.
You're just trying to harmlessly starve to death.
Are these the same pigs from the story?
I'm sorry?
The 3 pigs and the wolf.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Could be.
Could be. I've never seen more than 3 pigs at once.
Yeah, that's why he's stealing them. I want to. one of them's going to build a house out of straw, one out of sticks, one out of stone. You've got to let them do their work.
What I'm saying is, as far as I'm concerned, there's probably only 3 pigs, because I've never seen more than 3.
I don't believe we've ever seen a pig at all.
No,
You
I
grew
hate
up-
the farm.
Yeah, you do not strike me as a rural man.
I
Yeah, you're
hate
definitely not a
the
farmhand.
I hate the countryside so much.
Yeah.
And people who are like, oh, you should live in this countryside. Like, oh, it's so quiet and peaceful. Yeah, but you have to drive 40 minutes to get
Yeah.
anything you want, and it smells like manure, and it's boring.
It's always
Also,
people.
yeah, go.
It's always people that lived in the city that want and sort of glamorize living in the country. But
Yeah.
I grew up in the country and I couldn't wait to get out of it. It's
Yeah.
just so fucking boring.
One of my toxic traits is I also hate the countryside.
Hate the country.
Camping as well.
Yeah,
Like-
fuck that.
we went to a mate's 30th birthday, and he's hired out this entire field in Oxfordshire for his birthday. And everyone was camping, and me and my other mate got a hotel next to the fields.
Yeah,
and cut
I
to
fully
everyone
back that.
sinking in the mud like it's Glastonbury,
Yeah.
being sort of bitten, having a terrible time. We're going to a 4-star hotel in the village round the corner, having a decadent time.
Mate, I went
dream.
on Outward Bound, the camping holidays for young. When I was about 17.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Teaches you the ways. It's one
Yeah.
of those things. It's like Duke of Edinburgh, but you don't even get the medal. And they have I can't fathom for 3 weeks signing yourself up. Like, my parents signed me up for this. I did not choose to go.
I see.
Right. They have a poo shed. So when you have a shit, right, you don't, because they don't have toilets because it's outdoors and stuff, right? You don't just have a normal shit. You've got a tube that you take with you on camping expeditions, the poo tube. When you shit, you're not allowed to just leave your shit in nature, because apparently you've eaten so many sort of Mars bars and microplastics that then will that harm the animals or whatever. So you have to take your shit. You have to take your shit with you.
So everyone sort of does it in the same place.
So you go and do it into a bag, or you do it on the floor and pick it up like a dog turd, right? Then it goes in the poo tube, and someone's got to carry that for the whole trip. And then the poo tube goes in the poo shed, which
Wow.
smells awful.
That shed is like the dignitas of camping. It all happens in the same place, and there's only one place for it to happen.
Yeah. They probably smell quite similar.
That's wild.
Yeah, there'd be people signing up for it a lot quicker after having to carry the poo tube with them.
No, the tactic is carry the poo tube on day one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
smart.
figure this out.
Yeah.
You're a fecal mastermind.
Not only is it lighter, there's also no shit in it, which really helps. So basically, this activist's 10-year-old daughter said, make sure the piggies won't die. Basically.
Small things, they have 3 houses to build.
Yeah.
They're architects.
And so he let them in to the art gallery. It's a bit like the Gardner Museum heist. You heard about this?
What's this?
It's where people stole. It's the biggest art heist in American history. And people think
Must have missed that day of private school.
Yeah, people think it was an inside job, but it's still not really worked out. But basically, 2 guys in, they stole I think it was $13 million in artwork.
Fuck.
But except this time, this activist let them into the gallery and they sold 3 swines. But fortunately, the artist has got a plan because he's brainstormed a rework. So instead of starving the pigs himself, he's going to outsource that to a centre in India. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to use the corpses of pigs who have already starved.
Oh, so it's sustainable.
Yes.
Well, that's fine then.
That's good of him.
Yeah. And then instead of putting them in a cage like his plan, he's now going to put them in a fridge. Keep them fresh.
Whatever happened to just painting a picture?
Yeah, taking a photo.
I feel that way about a lot of art. Maybe I'm just sort of too shallow to understand it, but
Right.
painting's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need dead carcasses in my artwork.
We covered a story once where someone sold a banana sellotape to a wall for like 5 million.
Yeah, I went to the Tate Modern once, and one of the exhibits was a piece of A4 glued to the wall, and they said it doesn't matter about the orientation, and this is one of 8 pieces in these famous galleries around the world.
When I was a student, I had a side hustle of in art.
Just fun.
When I was a student, I had a side hustle in art.
Yeah, you're an antiques dealer.
Yeah, I had this friend at the Edinburgh School of Art, Edinburgh College of Art, who was doing a degree in performance art, and so she would pay me and a couple of others a certain amount of cash every sort of couple of weeks for a new exhibition, and I think the worst one was an exhibition where she put me and a stranger inside a sort of plastic womb, about the distance between you and me here, if not closer.
It's quite intimate then.
Yeah. And the idea was strangers would walk past us for 6 hours, and they would just hear a conversation between 2 strangers live, getting to know each other.
Especially a podcast.
Yeah, she invented the podcast.
Yeah,
She's a genius. And so got into this womb with this 45-year-old man. Nothing in common. Just awkward silence. Burned through every conversational catalyst I could think of.
Did you not choose who you were with?
No, unfortunately. The idea was, and you're sort of birthing conversation. You may birthing
I get it.
a platonic relationship, maybe birthing a dynamic, but yeah.
Yeah.
This was...
Were you naked?
Was I naked? No.
Oh, I just assumed that both of you were naked because you were in a womb.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. You know what?
But you weren't.
Looking back, there is very little I would not have done for a small amount of money.
Right, okay.
I was a penniless student.
Yeah, okay. So, this is a quote from the artist about his new plan.
Right.
I'm in the process of acquiring animals that have died of starvation or other terrible circumstances. I want to display them in a transparent refrigerator. My aim is to fill the fridge to bursting point with dead animals, to show how animals in agriculture are squeezed into small cages. I have the fridge, now I just need the animals. I'm willing to pay a high price. So, hey.
It's quite similar to the art that I did when I was a student.
Yeah.
You're stuffed in a womb.
Get in a fridge with this man.
Yeah. Get me in the fridge with Derek again. That'd be sick.
Well,
Talk about his 2 failed marriages.
You were saying about
next to the chicken nuggets.
You were saying about penniless students. So if you are a penniless student and you've got just enough money for a flight to Denmark, I think if you sort of want to starve a few pigs and then sell them to this guy, I think there's a side hustle in there.
Yeah, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
Underjudged students needing to make money. You go for it.
It's like drop shipping.
Like what?
Drop shipping?
What's drop shipping?
Some like online scam where apparently you can become your own boss. Yeah. You know, sort of like
Crypto bro territory.
Right.
You know, like
sign me up.
You know, like Avon for men.
They do it for men now.
Yeah. I like that. I like that the boys have things now. Like when alpha males and sigma males became a thing. That's astrology for men, in my opinion.
Yeah. Crypto finance is a lot of astrology for men. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Isn't it awesome? Boys have stuff now. Isn't it great?
We didn't used to have any stuff.
Yeah, we didn't used to have any stuff. And now we've
fucking time.
Yeah, now we've got our own Avon. This is amazing. Can't wait. Hopefully we can vote next. This is going to be sick.
That's one for the quote book. Actually, I'm proud of that. I'm glad that men have stuff.
Honestly, I think 2025...
It might be our year.
That's like that Young Thug tweet he did once, which is my favourite tweet of all time, when he said, "I hate when girls die."
Fucking beautiful.
And I don't even really know what it means.
No, but I will say, I'll nail my colours to the mast. I hate that as well. Yeah. True, sincere. A point we can all get behind.
You really hit it for 6 on that one, Young Thug. Okay, we now move on to our favourite little mini segment. This is American Unintelligence. And Janine White, a 57-year-old Florida substitute teacher, has been arrested after forcing students to beat up their misbehaving classmate.
God. I think the idea that every problem has to be solved with physical violence is one that seems to be a uniquely American ideal.
We've lost that. We've lost it.
Yeah,
you know.
But hopefully since 2025 is the year of the boys, hopefully we'll bring that back.
Maybe bring the rulers back.
We should have punishment on this podcast. Like if you say a joke,
Yes.
if you say a joke that doesn't land, we should. I don't know. I don't want to sound too enthusiastic, but we should whip each other.
Sign me up. I need to know when I've been a naughty boy.
Yeah. So Mrs. White was pissed off after a student ignored her requests to split up into groups,
Right.
which is not a huge one. I used to hate doing group work because I was a neek at school.
There's a word I've not heard since I was 14.
Yeah.
A nerd and a geek.
A neek. Yeah, I was a big neek at school.
Ditto, can you tell?
Really?
Can you tell?
Which means I would often, in the group dynamic, I'd be the one doing the 99%.
Yeah.
And then there's one person does 1%, another guy puts his name on it, and the fourth person doesn't even know we're doing it.
Right.
That's the general dynamic of every group project. But I'm always the heavy lifter.
Yes.
Seems like you were that guy.
Oh, yes, I would do 100% of it. Leave it to me, boys. Leave it to me.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
I love
used
being
to
challenged.
I used to hate doing group work because it was basically having to put the team on my back.
Yeah.
Aidan?
I wasn't the type that you would have thought I would have been.
Really?
Yeah. Like I was usually doing the heavy lifting myself.
Well, you remind me of a sort of 80s bully who's giving swirlies to all the scrawny.
I don't know what you picture school in Ireland to be like, but not many swirlies were being given out.
Yeah, but it was, it was,
What's a swirly?
when you stick someone's head down the loo and flush it.
Oh,
It's very American.
we didn't. I tell you what, we did do at private school. If you conceded,
I know about this.
if you conceded 10 goals in a row at table foosball, we had a foosball table in our common room. You had to trouser yourself, run around the common room 8 times, and scream "sorry, sorry, 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 sorry." That was about the level of punishment we would do.
That is
There wasn't a
such
lot of
awful banter.
There's not a lot of physical trauma in the private school I went to. It was very hands-off. It was all psychological torment.
Yours was hands off. Your experience.
Very hands-off, yeah.
Can't say-
Surprisingly, never got beaten up. Can you believe?
Can't say the same. I didn't either, but there was a bit of gay stuff, mate.
The weird thing about
That's really what I meant by hands on.
yeah. The weird thing about going to private school, because my school, I was there 2005 to 2010. The weird thing about that was there was 130 boys in my year, and at the time, I truly believed none of us are gay. Isn't that weird statistically? None of us are gay. And now you see us now in our 30s, you're like, oh, now I get it.
The concept of like a closeted man whenever you're in your
Yeah.
Does it work like if you look around and if you look around, 1 in 10 people are gay, roughly, is the stat, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's about 9% of people or something.
Right.
So 1 in 10 people are gay. So if you've got 9 friends and none of them are gay, it's you. And you just haven't figured it out yet. Mm-hmm. Apparently.
Well,
Is the how the logic
Surely
is.
maybe they haven't figured it out yet.
No, but
See, this is what used to worry me. Not worry me, but it used to give me a identity sort of...
you think it might have been you?
Well, this is the thing. I did think, like, I was very repressed when I went to private school. Very repressed and, like, and that exact thing. So I went... I do go through periods of going, maybe I am gay. Or I'm queer, or sort of, or bi, or I don't know, but maybe I have these feelings for other people, but I have just repressed it my entire life. And the more I self-reflect, the more I always circle back to the same point, which is, nope, just a normal, cis, straight, boring white man. Nothing exciting about me.
You almost overthought yourself to be gay.
Basically, yeah.
I think
it went full 360 back to straightness.
Were you suffering what I was suffering from at boarding school, which was a desperate need to get laid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I
I went basically bonkers at one point. So horny.
I mean, I got to go home. I was a day student, so I got to go home.
Right.
Would you have been beefing your types if you're staying overnight and you see the day students coming in? Were you kind of envious of them?
There was definitely some kind of rivalry.
Yeah.
But I'm not envious of that. You want to be a boarder. Day boys are like those are the
Day boys.
Yeah, you want to be a boarder for the psychological trauma.
You day boys were like, those are the sissy little wet wipes who have to go home to mummy in the evenings,
Boarders, they're the ones who have boarding school survivors syndrome. That makes us cool.
Survivor's guilt.
yeah. I never really had that. I don't think I spoke to like a woman my own age until I was about like 14. Because I
thought you were going to say 40 there.
40.
Which would be impressive considering you aren't yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'll get there one day. Fingers crossed.
Work on it. You didn't speak to a woman until you're 14?
Yeah, because even my primary school was was all boys. So I was in single sex education from age 5 to 18.
Yeah.
And I was an only child. Can you tell?
Really?
And so none of us started socializing until we were like 13, 14 with like the girls' school. So wild. And then obviously you have no idea how to speak to women when you're that age.
Yeah.
And then you arrive at uni and you're like, oh my God, people.
Yeah.
How to have a conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I went to like mixed schools in terms of gender, but back in Ireland it's very much you have Catholic schools, Protestant schools, and also I didn't meet a person of colour till I was like 14.
Rural
Right.
Ireland.
Rural Ireland.
There's no POCs out there.
Mhm, It's 100% Caucasian.
More or
Statistically, it adds up.
Don't you think it's kind of crazy that the word for white is Caucasian?
Yeah, I've always thought that.
I've never thought about that. Word's fascinating.
That's what you call a Japanese guy in Ireland, right? A Caucasian.
That's
a good joke.
It's pretty
actually.
decent wordplay.
That's a decent joke.
Yeah. I'm not against that one. That
Only-
was,
That's all right.
Only works with your accent though.
A Caucasian.
Yeah.
yeah. Here's another thing we used to do at private school, which is if you conceded 10 goals in a row at FIFA, then you had to ring the other person's mum and to whom you just lost. And you'd say, yeah, Mrs. Jones, I just want to... Sorry, it's Will, Nami, Dennis's friend or whatever. Like, I just want to ring, sorry to disturb you. I want to let you know your son is a true athlete, a true sportsman, a gentleman and a scholar, and thank you for raising him. He's a gentleman, he's a saint, and he's extremely good at the game FIFA 98. So thank you again, apologies, and have a wonderful day. Thank you for raising such a brilliant son.
What do you think about that level of banter, Aidan?
I think I'm more concerned about how the threshold was always 10 goals. Like,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
shit were you at FIFA?
Oh, I was bad.
I knew you were bad at FIFA because you said we scored 10 goals at FIFA, and you said it like that.
Yeah, 10 goals at FIFA.
I don't think any person who actually plays FIFA would ever say that.
I love scoring 10 goals at FIFA.
At FIFA,
It's my
yeah.
favourite pastime.
Anyway, back to Mrs. White in the classroom. So, student ignored her request to split up into groups. Thing is, she's only a sub,
Yeah.
right? And the substitute teacher is just there to be ignored, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what they're signing up for.
I love a substitute teacher. There's no better feeling than walking into the classroom and instead of your normal teacher, it's like a random Jamaican lady who has no idea what's
Oh
going on.
yeah, they don't have any investment
It was
necessarily.
I don't know about your school. It was always a random Jamaican lady.
Not in my fucking school, it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, we had substitute teachers all the time. They weren't invested necessarily in who we were as
Who
people.
wants to watch a video?
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It
That
was
was
always the best.
That was the
Fair
dream.
play to them.
Oh, I love a sub teacher. That must be the best job in the world.
There was always that one student that was like, oh, this will be hilarious. I'll give them a fake name.
Yeah,
You're talking about like low levels of banter. That's
That's ringing the other person's mum when you've lost 10 goals at FIFA level banter.
That's saying not here at the red.
yeah.
That's good
Or
stuff.
no, the one person, everyone would be saying here, 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 and then one person would say present.
Yeah, present.
That was me. I was the present boy. Present and correct.
I was the Bob the Builder. No, we can't guy.
I'm sorry?
That's fucking
Bob
reckless.
the Builder. Can we fix it? Bob the Builder. No, we can't.
No, it's-
Yeah. They played that at the Year 6 disco, and I had my leather jacket and my polo shirt and my neon trousers
Sick.
and my bowling shoes and my flat cap on, and I had about 15 of those sticks of sherbet.
Yeah.
I was absolutely buzzing off the walls. I said, "Mate, can you play sexy?" And I know it. They said, "We don't have that." And I said, "Okay, what about Bob the Builder theme? Whack it on." No, we can't.
So you're racking up lines of sherbet, snorting them,
yeah.
and then going, Bob the Builder, can he fix it? No, he can't. He has not heard the outcome of his industrial tribunal yet.
Mate, I was just grinding my teeth, going like, "Heard about Bob the Builder, yeah?" Dude, this guy's fucked. This guy's so fucked.
He's awaiting the results of his inquest.
Yeah.
I ruined an industrial tribunal once. I did a corporate gig in Oxford.
I don't really know what. I've never had a corporate job. What's an industrial tribunal?
Have you ever had a job? That's the big question.
I worked in a cocktail bar, and then
Very nice.
And then I was making TikToks while I was doing that, just getting laughed at because nobody watched them. And then the day I quit, I was like, haha, goodbye. Man. They still work there.
Look at you now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did a corporate gig in a place in Oxfordshire. It was a sort of a complex of different like function rooms, and in one of the function rooms they were holding an industrial tribunal, unbeknownst to me. So
What is an industrial tribunal?
It's if you've been unfairly dismissed, then you take it to an impartial judge who can decide whether or not you've been unfairly dismissed, for instance. And so I'm there rapping away. The act I do is improvise raps, so I'm rapping with objects, I'm screaming motherfucker. It's going, for a corporate gig, it's not going badly, if I do say so myself. And then the CEO grabs the mic, which is, during a comedy set, unconventional. And he says, well, there's no way to break this to you, but the audio from your mic is not just going to the speakers, it's going to the speakers of the entire building. So you've ruined the industrial tribunal next door. They are really seriously angry. They have heard you make penis jokes and scream motherfucker for the past 20 minutes, and they can't turn it off. So you need to do the rest of your set a cappella. And I went, I don't think that's going to work if I've hyped them up to this sort of frenzy. And he went, do it, it'll be fine. I went, okay. For the final rap, everybody click, please. And you know what? Really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't work at all. But the money was in the account before I started. So 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Pretty good for a corporate gig.
Did that guy get his job back? Or some pay?
I never found out. I wasn't invited back next year to find out, weirdly.
No, that's funny. Yeah.
Do you do live stuff?
Not a lot, no.
What stuff have you done?
Not really. I did one stand-up show once.
I want to hear all about this.
But I didn't get told I was doing it.
Okay.
So we just drove up to it was for a video, right? Basically, it was a video in which I get fucked over in a series of ways.
Okay, good.
I guess that's funny. So we've done a day of travelling. I've got from Essex to Oxford with no money.
Incredible.
Just by bumming things off people who recognise me in the street, etc.
This is the TikTok fame you can, what's the word? You can seep off. This is great.
You can get so much free stuff. Absolutely. And then, so I got there, I'm absolutely knackered. We'd done a whole day's worth of things. And then they were like, oh, we've got one more challenge, by the way. We turn up at this comedy club and say, you're doing a 15-minute set in like 10 minutes.
Was this in Oxford?
It was in Oxford.
Jericho, the Glee? You may not remember which one. Does either way.
I don't know.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before.
I've never done it before. I didn't have anything prepared.
Yeah.
It went okay. I mean, they filmed a bit before it where like the comedy, what's his name? The compere.
Yes.
Like, he gave me some advice. Absolutely dog shit advice. I can
What's
still,
he
I can,
say?
I can still see why his comedy career has not taken off. Because he was like, "Oh, mate, if anything fails, just tap the mic and go, is this thing on?" I was like,
That's good stuff.
this guy's the teacher. He's trying to teach me this stuff.
That is ringing the other person's mum level of comedy.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is like business lecturer teaching business. They're
Yeah.
good at business. They're a lecturer.
It's amazing.
I did it okay. It was okay. I had a few jokes that landed. I did a bit of crowd work, I think that's the best way to burn a bit of time, is like asking people what their favourite PowerPoint transition is. And stuff. Yeah.
It's good. So you filled the time.
I filled the time. It was okay. There were a few laughs in there.
The worst gig I've ever done probably was I did a Youth Beats music festival in Dumfries and Galloway. In the southwest of Scotland, and the festival was for two reasons. It was for teenagers, and it was for kids, family festival. And they went, you have to not swear because there's kids around, and the festival is funding teenagers who have got into drugs at an early age, and now this is helping them get out of quite a difficult situation. Yeah. So don't reference drugs. And I was in the comedy tent. I say comedy tent. This wigwam next to S Club 3, headlining to 2,000 people in the adjacent field. While I arrived, there was no one there apart from the other comedians, and the booker was there going, I've made a serious tactical error in booking this comedy tent at the same time as S Club 3. And then two sort of kids walk in with their parents, clearly lost, and they go, it's comedy, do you want comedy? And the parents go, no, do we have to? No, not really. I mean,
Do we have to?
So it's less a gig, more of a hostage situation now.
Yeah.
And so he's, there's only one chair, by the way. There's a mum's on the chair, dad's just on the floor. Kids are running around. It's not a gig.
Oh my God.
And I've got a picture of it somewhere. I'll try and send it to you after this. You can flash it on the screen.
Yeah.
And then he goes, right, compare struggles. He's burned through all the good stuff. Is this thing on? What's your favourite PowerPoint transition?
Yeah.
And then goes, please welcome to the stage, MC Hammersmith. And I started the same way I always start, which is going, yo, what's up, motherfuckers? I went, shit, I've sworn. I went, but it's okay. No drugs references. And I speak to one of the kids. I went, what's your name, mate? I'll do a rap about you. What's your name? She goes, Molly. I went, appropriate for a festival. And the head of the festival
Good joke.
Yeah. It's been filmed for him, so I didn't get paid and was banned from the festival for life.
Fuck me.
Was the 9-year-old kid on drugs?
Was a 9-year-old kid on drugs? Not to my knowledge.
Because that's who it's for.
Yeah, it's for the people.
On drugs.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you go to a youth pizza music festival and you're not on drugs, you're doing it wrong. It's S Club 3.
Yeah.
Get some swedges in you.
Well, who else is doing it wrong is bloody Mrs. White. So this student, let's just get to the end of this fucking story. I'm just going to speed run it. After seemingly no time, she resorted to violence, asking her class who here can beat him up. 4 students volunteered for extra credit to beat him up and were called on by Miss White one by one to beat up the student inside the classroom. She then dragged the student by the collar and reported him to school authorities, claiming he was in need of behavioural assistance. She faces charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and child abuse. Let's move on. Okay.
I think, since 2025 is the year of boys. I think it's great that we're bringing back sort of,
Corporal punishment.
Yeah. This is good stuff.
Mate, they're too soft. You need to give them a good old thwacking. Then they really. I am not against sort of smacking a child on the arse.
There must be a better way to phrase that.
Yep. Sorry.
That's the clip.
I had a couple of smacked arses when I was a child.
Sure.
But it's not a pain thing, it's just a shock factor.
I never had any bad punishments at school, because I never got in trouble. I was a good boy.
Not from my teachers, from my parents.
Oh, right.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's okay to hit other people's kids. That's if you just saw a toddler in Victoria Station, shut up. I don't think
kick his head in.
I don't think that's okay.
That's legally frowned upon.
I don't think discipline, abuse. I think
Yeah, I'd have got that as well. And certain parents were getting their high horse about it. But if you got a slap, you thought twice about doing it the next time.
It works.
Yeah,
it's effective.
Fuck, it is effective.
I'm not advocating for people to hit their kids in general, but if you want to,
if they're being a fucking twat,
that's okay. Right, let's move on to our next segment now. This is You're a Ranker, and we're ranking the top 3 rappers of all time.
Excellent.
You got
Lil Xan, Lil Pump, XXX Temptation. Next question, Rice.
It's going that way. It's going that way. Do you have a top 3?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, let's go number 3 then.
Number 3 for me is Rakim. If you don't know,
you took this seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a problem. I've just looked at my number 3.
But it is open to the person.
It's open to interpretation.
It's open to interpretation. That's fine.
You can talk about rap, and then I'll talk about what this.
Okay, I can already see what one of them is.
Yeah.
Good. Well, now I'm regretting doing this sincerely. You know what? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Bit of flavour for the people.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Rakim, Golden Age rapper, one of the first people to popularise polysyllabic rhyme. His flow's incredible. I love his albums. He's one of the people that properly got me into rhyming and wordplay, and yeah, he's just incredible. His song "Guess Who's Back" when I first played it was revolutionary for me. So Rakim's my number 3. Okay. Rufus, who's your top 3 best rapper of all
number
time?
3 is Young Philly.
Right. Now, I didn't know who Young Philly was until I did that Beta Squad video.
Yeah.
And
do you know who he is now?
Oh, now I know who he is. Yeah. So
he's on
fascinating.
He's on tour in Australia for 2 years, at least. But maybe much longer than that.
Has Australia not heard of the internet?
No. You know what happened?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. He's contentious to say, a bad man.
He's on a permanent Australian tour.
Yeah.
This guy.
He's there forever. Yeah.
But they always described him in the news articles. This always got me about it as a rapper. It would always say,
"There's never
he's not a rapper. He used to make podcasts."
I thought he was a YouTuber, and that's coming from me.
Yeah.
But
if you look up any article about it, it's always said rapper and YouTube. Rapper. They always called him a rapper. He's not a rapper.
Yeah.
I enjoy when actual rappers react to my own videos, and they will say things. Screwface John reacted to one once, and he went, "Man, this guy. I mean, is he joking? Is he trying to be serious? I mean, he's got incredibly corny delivery, but I guess." Technically, he can rap, so that's on my poster now for Fringe. Super corny delivery, but technically, I guess he can technically rap.
There will be a lot of fans of the rap genre watching that are over the moon with the fact that you've actually took this seriously.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like him.
So I've got Young Philly, and you've got
my number 3 is Deji.
Brilliant.
This is KSI's brother.
It is indeed.
Yes, I know things. I know things.
In our opinion, so I made a video of top 5 black people of all time, and I put him 4th. Which is above Martin Luther King, which is a bit contentious.
Yes, I can see why people might find that spicy.
I stand by it. Like, he's got bars. Martin Luther King, no bars.
Specifically this bar, I don't give a fuck, man. I'll shit in a urinal.
Yes, that is a classic.
That's a good bar.
Yeah.
That's a good bar.
So he's my
Say what
number
you like
three.
about Martin Luther King, and I will. He didn't have any bars.
No bars. I'll burn you to the ground and extinguish you with Pierce. Deji.
It's amazing, Deji.
And my favourite Deji bar. You know that girl Stella? I went into Stella.
That's actually pretty good.
That's very good. I'm not going to rank black people because
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, I cannot go back to prison.
No.
But
Number two,
that's
rapper,
wonderful.
number 2 rapper of all time?
Number 2 rapper of all time was a tie. I can't believe I took this seriously. And you're a young Billy. It's such a tonal shift. It's such a J-stop tonally. Number 2 for me is a tie between MC Supernatural and MC Juice. I think I mentioned them earlier. They're the godfathers of freestyle rap. I mean, Harry Mack is now the guy people know, like probably the most popular name online for freestyle rap. Certainly the one people quote most to me, but these are the guys who popularized it back in the sort of early 90s. The stuff that they were doing, they had a big battle in 2002, 2003. I think I know every word of that battle. They're just phenomenally talented. They birthed the entire sort of art form as we know it, like in a way that was actually filmed and viewable on YouTube for me to go, oh my God, this is a revolutionary art form for me. So that holds a special place in my heart. Rufus, who is your number 2 rapper of all time?
I've gone for Nav, the Indian guy.
Who is Nav?
No idea.
Nav, his big breakout hit was 2016. He was featured on a Travis Scott song. And I'll just do a quick impression of that. And I put an A in a leader. Put some Jolly Rancher in, make it sweeter. Versace my clothes, she with a white hoe and she's snorting 3 lines like Adidas.
Oh, snorted 3 lines like Adidas. Yeah, that's all right.
It's all right.
That's all right.
He was, according to him, in his own words, he's the first brown boy to get it popping. He said that that's his own words.
Good for you, Nav.
His full name is Navraj Singh. So he's definitely brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's the first brown boy to get it popping. I don't know the history of rap like that. But he was so on top in 2016, 2017. He genuinely used the N-word on at least 2 songs and got away with it.
Fascinating.
Which I think is awesome. He also has a song called Nav by Nav on the album Nav.
Okay, I really respect that.
Which is really awesome.
Very cool.
And he goes, I was broken down bad. Now I pay nothing for my sneakers because I'm Nav. Which I think that's great.
I was broken down bad. Hello, my name's Nav.
Yeah, literally.
That's bars, man.
Aidan.
My number 2 is Will Smith. I've went for him just because of the...
He's not even the best rapper in his own family. What are you talking about?
Who are you putting ahead of him, Jaden?
Both of them.
Fuck that.
I might even chuck the mum in there for a laugh.
Just the squeaky, clean, thought-provoking lyrics, especially this one on his song Boom Shake the Room. He says at one point, I told my mama that I'll never make a whack jam, and I think he kept his promise.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Will Smith.
That's a sort of semi-serious placement. I mean, he's not the second best rapper of all time.
Some great songs, though.
Oh, okay.
To each their own.
You're number 1. Greatest rapper?
Big L. Big L is my number 1 of all time. Said it before, I'll say it again. I just love Big L.
Haven't heard of Big L.
He's known as your favorite rapper's favorite rapper because he was shot down before his time, sadly, maybe 25 years old in 1999, from Harlem. It's a real punchline merchant, just some absolutely incredible bars, real sort of quick flow as well. If you listen, he did a 7-minute freestyle with Jay-Z in the late 90s, and you can see where Jay-Z, in my opinion, got a lot of his ideas from, as Big L is just wrapping circles around Jay-Z, and he has some great lines like, I'm ready to catch wreck on any cassette deck. I'm so ahead of my time, my parents haven't met yet, which is great. There's another one. I ran through every bitch in my path. I was fucking chicks in the ass when I was 6.5. Good, clean, harmless fun.
Yeah.
I visited his mural in Harlem. I have quite obsessive listening patterns with hip hop, and Big L is on constant loop for me. Love him.
Yeah.
Would you like a mural at some point?
Yes,
Is that a life sort of career goal?
I think so. I'd love a mural.
I'd quite like a mural. I don't know where though. Where would you? Hammersmith, I guess.
Yeah, I am worried people would deface it and draw a penis over it, which is
That happens with any mural.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
during the Edinburgh Fringe, you buy sort of big posters to put all around the street, and every year I buy bigger and bigger posters, and every year, earlier and earlier, my face is defaced with a cock drawn on numerous posters.
Does that
I
happen
put
to
up.
other people's posters, or is it
Just seems to be me. I can't figure out why.
Just you. Okay, that is a shame.
Does it ever frustrate you that because you do comedy rap that people might not take you seriously in terms of your actual flow and stuff like that?
I mean, I don't want to be taken seriously,
Yeah.
particularly. I mean, if I ever do, I'll be surprised. But I got into comedy to make people laugh, and I got into hip hop because I love it. And if people don't take me seriously, I find it very funny. I don't know if you get this if you upload your videos to Facebook, but
I don't.
I get it's Boomer Central, obviously, and I get so many people in America, and obviously it's a different time zone, so I'll wake up to just bile spewed at me from boomers going, this guy can't be serious. He can't be serious. He thinks he's gangster. He can't be serious. I'm like, correct. I do. Simply put, cannot be thinking I'm serious.
Yeah.
That is the joke. It's mad, the chronic irony deficiency you find.
Yeah.
My number one rapper of all time is Young Thug.
Right.
He is a real rapper. Here are my favourite Young Thug bars. So many bars. First one, pussy tighter than a baby.
God. Jesus
I
Christ.
think he didn't think that one through.
No, there's got to be a better way to phrase that.
Yeah, but that is a genuine Young Thug bar, and it's got a little ad lib as well. So the whole bar is pussy tighter than a baby. Hey, right.
The hey changes everything.
Yeah.
Hey changes everything.
Next one, A B C D E E F. Bitch, you know that I'm a G. It's just crap.
Yeah, that's just the alphabet.
I fucked her, then washed off my dick with the curtains inside of my Phantom.
He's literal. I'll give you this. He's literal.
Take them boys to school, swaggonometry. Bitch, I'm bleeding bad like a bumblebee.
Bumblebees don't bleed.
I miss you.
Mad.
I miss you. I want to kiss you. I want to lick you. Pubic hair. And my favourite
Okay, that one's pretty good.
My favourite one. She's sucking, put me in a coma. I nut on that fish on my sofa. I promise you that's the real lyric.
Just none of it makes sense.
Yeah,
I nut on that fish on my sofa.
Utterly senseless, but good fun.
Good fun.
Good fun. I'm worried about the curtains. You got to have those dry cleaned, man. Think about the
I
Phantom.
know. Aidan, your number one rapper.
My number one is actually a duo, and you actually mentioned them earlier, LMFAO. I went for those lads. The mastermind is behind
What a
Sexy
throwback to
I Know It.
2009.
Red Foo and the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the other one called Blue Mist? That's definitely not true.
I think Blue Mist is a brand of vaginal spray. I'm not joking, I think it is.
Let me Google that.
I might have made that up.
Your poor search history, man.
Oh no, it's a play. I've really crossed my wires there.
Red Food.
Sky Blue.
It's a play. I've crossed my
blue.
wires. I'm sure Waiting for Godot is a brand of pussy spray. I'm sure it is. I know I've seen that somewhere before.
I think that's a great shout. I think LMFAO have released some of the best rap songs.
Party Rock Anthem was like the soundtrack.
It's a
of my
hip hop
teenage
classic.
years.
As far as that, it epitomizes boom bap. As far as I'm concerned, that's good stuff.
They also done Shots, which classic.
Oh yes,
they?
if you ain't having shots, get the fuck out of the club. It's direct and to the point.
I genuinely think that Party Rock Anthem is one of the great songs.
I unironically love that song.
Unironically, I genuinely believe it's a
It
great
is
song.
good. It is good.
It's like Gangnam Style. I think if you break it down the fundamentals, it's actually a good pop song.
I remember I was sat in primary school, I think it was P7 on the bus on the way home, and someone Bluetoothed me that song on my old Huawei smartphone. And I was thinking, I am fucking in here right now. Just because some girl in my class asked for you used to have like a Bluetooth password. Do you remember?
No.
It was Bluetooth before your day.
Yeah.
Really?
No, Bluetooth exists now. So
Yeah,
no.
but whenever you couldn't transfer a song to someone with anything other than Bluetooth. Did you never have that?
It's an incredible way to pick up women via Bluetooth. It's not a strategy I've heard before.
Yeah, well, it didn't work.
So you were. So your way of flirting was what? Connected to their hotspot? What's going
No,
on?
just the fact that someone acknowledged me enough to
Okay.
Bluetooth me a song.
Right, yeah.
I was thinking,
My
right,
way was infrared on the top of an old sort of Nokia, transferring like that, transferring
Yeah,
a
yeah.
ringtone. Yeah. That's why I picked up
didn't have-
honeys back in the day.
I just didn't have one of those shit phones. I went straight to the iPod Touch, mate.
fair. I never had
Fourth
an
gen
iPod.
iPod Touch, remember it well. Green case, lost it on a beach.
Nah, I was getting songs downloaded from a computer
LimeWire.
and then onto the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried to download a film from LimeWire once, and the first half.
Horse porn?
Well, God, the first half was the film, and the second half was Kim Possible porn. And I was like,
Jesus.
16. I went, Jesus, what on earth is this?
That's a double feature. It's a B-side.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, yeah.
Good. You can have a bit of film and a bit of porn.
Yeah.
I think they should do that in,
In cinemas.
the cinemas.
Intermission.
Yeah. Well, there's all that space on the other side of the DVD. They only read off the one off the bottom. Anyway, I think.
Yeah, let's get
That's
that in the
very,
Odin.
very relevant technology there. Anyway, so that will bring us to the end of today's episode. And as a special little treat to jam us out, we'll have MC Hammersmith do one of his famous freestyles.
Lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to need from you boys is 10 random words, anything at all, and I will write them down, and then I will improvise a rap off the top of my head, combining each and every one of these words. And feel free to be difficult, make them as challenging as possible.
Right, I'll start off with Catholicism.
Catholicism, excellent. Love that. Catholicism, Aidan.
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea to ours. I went to
Synonymous
private
with
school.
Catholicism.
Say again.
It's synonymous with Catholicism.
That's why I put them next to each other.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll go for asymmetry.
Asymmetry, nice. This is some real private school words.
Yeah.
I did a gig in my old school years ago.
Oh, nice.
It was just after the pandemic, and my school was such a fucking private school. They were giving me suggestions in Latin, and I was like, this is maybe the weakest chat I've had.
We can do that.
God, Catholicism, gonorrhea, asymmetry,
Xylophone.
xylophone. Love that. What with an X? I went to private school. Xylophone. Let's get a few more. Could be anything. You can do foods, animals, locations, celebrities. I'll take
Patagonia.
Patagonia. Nice. We are halfway there.
I'll go for embalming.
Embalming. This is good stuff.
Novak Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic.
Sort of 2 words, but I guess
we'll allow it.
You let him.
Djokovic. We need 3 more. Feel free to be as wild as you like.
Okay.
Go even longer if you like.
Well, I'll go for Twix.
1 syllable. We've lowered the stakes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, now I'm just thinking biscuits. You've shot them.
You do love biscuits.
Yeah, I do.
Rafferty's like, give me a Twix, man. Give me the biscuits. He's a hungry boy.
Sanitarium.
What's a sanitarium? Sanatorium, I think.
Sanatorium.
I think.
Is Sanitarium a brand of cereal?
Is it vaginal
Xanax
mist?
cereal. Right, on that, I'm going to go Cocoa Pops.
Cocoa Pops. Lovely.
A sanitarium or sanatorium is a historical term for a specialist hospital.
A sanatorium or sanitarium is a historical term. I'm going to write in brackets, specialist hospital.
Yeah.
Nice. Hospital.
That's a difficult list.
Yeah. Motherfuckers, this is going to be an improvised gangster rap featuring the words, which I've written down here to remember them. Catholicism, gonorrhea, asymmetry, xylophone, Patagonia, embalming, Novak Djokovic, Twix, sanatorium, which is a kind of specialist hospital, and Cocoa Pops.
Let's
Could you
go.
please drop the beat? Thank you very much. So check, 1, 2. Could I get the beat a tiny bit louder? Thank you, mate. A check off top, check, 1, 2. So people in the place with the maddest verse, about to freestyle with these 10 random words. Let's bloody do that with all of my syllables. Some of these words are really fucking difficult. Now first, I say with my vision, I'm asking what is my favorite religion? Well, I don't want to rank them. Yes, like damn, I'm not going to put Christianity against Islam or Judaism or anything like that. But when I take it off the top with the freestyle raps, rappers try to step to me there with my vision. I'll get cross with them like Catholicism. God damn, I'm the best individual. See the rare rock man, words too lyrical. Every time I spit, I rip this with glee. I've got to ask what's my favorite STD. You know we can do this. This is so sinister. Crowd, you can clap for me like it's chlamydia. I'll raise the rap game to the ionosphere. You'll never get rid of me like gonorrhea. God damn, best in the game. Flex microphones once, twice in the game. Now compared to me and all these other rappers, it's fair to say I dress a bit dapper. So what I'm saying there visually, there is a difference. Check the way I do flex mics in an instance. You could say when you look at me visually, me and these other rappers, there's some asymmetry. Yeah, cause I've been bringing that class. Posh motherfucker who be repping those bars. Other MCs crush like styrofoam. Play the rap game just like a xylophone. Off top, freestyle in increments. Xylophone got to be the #1 instrument. By the way, I am straight from the hood like a xylophone. Your girl gave me lots of words. See the way I do. Rappers are wank and like a xylophone, they're all fucking plags. See the way I bust it. Best in the game. Flex off the top like I said once again. Now Shagger's here. I'm a lyrical menace. I happen to know a few things about tennis. Who's my favorite player? Yes, it's so brilliant. exhibit. Well, I might say Venus Serena Williams might be the best as I bust off the top with this. Rhymes so tasty, stick them on your shopping list. When I be off at the tip of the mid in the bucket, never be stopping this. Serve motherfuckers like Novak Djokovic. That's right, said Serena Williams. Yes, Grand Slam just like it's Wimbledon. Off top, I'm the best when I rip it. Now what's the next freestyle I can exhibit? I've got to ask, you know that I'm sick, and these other MCs, they can suck my dick. I said I am sick, just like scarlet fever. I'ma take it to the southern tip of Argentina. Yeah, I am sick like ammonia, cause I rep the freestyles cold like Patagonia. Yeah, off top, I freestyle greater. Patagonia, the site of my favorite glacier. One time, yes, it's divine, like a glacier, how my coldness is melting your mind. Forgot to cross it off. These styles, they am charming. Kill a whack rapper, their bodies I'm embalming. Yeah, goddamn, said I'll bury these fossils. Best in the industry, I'm an apostle. By the way, I'm now in the mix. I gave your girl 2 fingers like a Twix. Yeah, up top, this is the way I rip it. Said it's the freestyles I'm known to exhibit. That's how it happens. Yes, tell your son, no biscuit when I be strapped with 2 guns. Anyway, styles I am blasting like Cocoa Pops. I get the crowd snapping. All these freestyles, you know I'm adoring them. So sick, put me in a fucking sanatorium.
Yes! Oh, what a performance. Showing ways for the streets there.
Timing of that, it ended.
I went to private school. Of course I know the timing of the track. I went to private school. Thank you for those 10 words, just as we rehearsed.
Excellent.
Thank you, boys.
Make sure you check out MC Hammersmith's stuff.
Thank you very much. I'm on tour. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that plug. When does this go out, by the way? When does this go out?
Couple of weeks, 2 weeks from now.
Amazing, because that's when my tour starts. I mean,
Brilliant.
we've had a couple of dates in March in Glasgow. The tour properly kicks off April and May. I'm going 30 dates in the UK and Ireland. You're welcome, Rafferty. Ireland. So it'd be a pleasure to see you there, especially Belfast, because let me tell you, that needs some ticket shifting. And Aberdeen. I tell you what, if you know 300 people in Canterbury, that'd be sick as well. But a lot of the dates are thankfully doing better than Canterbury. It's an entirely improvised
Pick up your game,
rap
Canterbury.
show.
The fuck you do? You not listen to that? If you live in the Kent area, get down there.
Well said. Thank you. That's the soundbite I'll use. It's an entirely improvised hip-hop comedy show. It's all based on audience suggestions. You can suggest words at me, take your stories, put them in rhyme. Be a pleasure to see you there. Thanks, motherfuckers.
That is probably
Awesome.
my favourite episode of the show we've ever done.
Brilliant.
That
Good
is
fun.
unbelievable.
Great fun. Thank you for having me, boys.
No worries, and we'll see you next week. Back to you in your house. Awesome stuff.